Hi there folks, this is another Shogun commentary with me, Sepelio, your gracious host. And today I'll be going over a little battle that me and my friend Wonton Soop played against Vizeroh and AnjinsanTW. So I warned this pair beforehand that I didn't have my proper, correct, non-Loansword related army. So they had no right to win in the end, but who cares? Anyway, so yeah, I have 7 units of Loanswords, a bunch of cav, 2 matchlocks, a couple of AnjinsanTW warrior monks which are serving as fodder, which is really illogical because I shouldn't use an expensive unit as fodder. My cav is 2 great guard and a fire cav, which is basically a 3rd great guard. If we put it in slow mode and look at the stats on these things, they're just lovely. They have pretty much the same stats as the great guard, which is just, I do love it. Anyway, if we go to look at my allies army, he has, I don't know, Wonton always brings an interesting mix of units I tend to find. So he has 2 Boashigaru, 2 Matchlocashigaru, bow monks, some Yari-Ashigaru, katanas, 2 Loanswords, 2 Yari-Cav, another 2 Loanswords, and his general. Our opponents, actually, I think they had pretty much identical builds. I'm not too sure. Anjinsan is 3 bow monks, 2 Yari-Ashigaru, Matchlock warrior monks, Katana-Sam's Loanswords, Katana-Sam Loanswords, Yari-Ashigaru. He's 2 Yari cavalry, or Great Guard. Was it Great Guard? We'll see later. Hidden in this forest. Vizeroh, we can't really see his army because some of it's in the forest, but he has pretty similar, I think. Although he has some mounted gunners somewhere. Anyway, we'll just let this thing play. There we go, he's moving again. So essentially, with my nice Loansword army here, the main thing I want to do is get these in a nice line like this, and then try to envelop the enemy and break one of their flanks. That's a pretty standard thing to do, and you have to close quickly and then get your matchlocks in a good position as well. So I'm just going to speed this up ever so slightly. It does lag like crazy, but I do need to upgrade my graphics card. I tried to play Siege earlier with Vizeroh and Alpha AG, and I was getting quite bad lag, and then my game dropped, which I wasn't too pleased about. I'm being annoyed in Steam. There we go, that's that dealt with. Anyway, so you now see that Vizeroh's in this nice position here. He's not revealed his cavalry yet, it looks like, but he does have some. But as we'll see, his Loanswords are quite a lot better than my own. He played against me both World Weary and Fugucook, which is really potent against the Loansword spam. You should always watch out for that, because you know, that's my Loanswords down from 20 to 16 attack, -4 is quite a lot, plus the negative effect on the morale. Anyway, I decided I'm going to push all my cavalry to the left, because I have a lot more and better cavalry than what he has, and if I can break one of his flanks, then the rest of his army will fall. So at the minute I'm just still pushing up. I think Wonton was being quite skittish and kind of standoffish at this point. Needs to be more aggressive, but nonetheless. So these two have, as you can see, and you can just look at it and see, you know, they both are pretty much the same army, and it's, you know, it's a good balanced army. I would actually recommend what they have. It's pretty solid build, I think they had overall. Anyway, as you can see, the bow monks are being chewed up by his archers, so I'm just charging at this point. I want to get my cavalry up to the left to make sure I've got the maximum pressure, and you want to attack someone from as many locations as you can at once, so that you can gain your sort of control of the battle. At this point, with the Loanswords closing rapidly, I wish I could, I don't know, I should really splice in Raiders Valkyries into this, so we get and so on. Anyway, on this side I've put my matchlocks up on this hill, and I've caught all his cav up in my cav, and I've got my Great Guard sort of to the side and behind him, so this cav will die pretty rapidly. In the meantime, as you can see, I moved Loanswords all around to try and crush him in as much as I can, which is how these battles are won. And I've also got the matchlocks set up firing in from the back. next one day with any luck. So on the other side, I decided the Loanswords are relatively expendable, so I charged one into Anjinsan just as a distraction, so that to give Wonton a little bit more of time to do whatever he was doing, because he's still moving a lot of his units up. He's still quite far back, so that's the problem with having one person rush and one person not rush. You have to be a bit more coordinated. At this point I was actually expecting Anjinsan to come over and help Vizeroh a little bit more, but he didn't. Anyway, let's get a little closer look. You'll see the bodies are all over the place, these pink, tasty bodies of Vizeroh's troops as they're massacred horribly, because we've actually ended up capturing this workshop, so my units gain some armour and some defence. Well, we've not captured it yet, but we will. It's very useful later. I'm just going to stick this into slow mode. So at the minute what's happened is my cav have beaten his on the left flank and they've been freed up, so I just run them into this sort of pile of his ranged units and his general, and then in the meantime my Loanswords are pushing in everywhere else. I've got my general set up in standing fight. He actually does kill my general, as we'll see shortly, with his matchlocks, but by then it's far too late. Of course the problem is killing a standing fight general is that my Loanswords immediately lose 3 points of attack, and against Vizeroh's really nasty Loanswords, that's not a good thing. Anjinsan has some nice Loanswords here. We see he's got 26 attack on that unit, and 23 on this katana unit. So see the Wonton is gradually moving up. I've decimated most of Vizeroh's army, and he's actually killed the unit of matchlocks I had sitting here with his archers. So now I'm just waiting for the rest of his units to rout. My Great Guard and other cavalry are just rampaging through his rear end, and I'm kind of trying to get my army back together again to move on and hit Anjinsan's left flank. At this point we see, there's that cavalry I was talking about, so that came out of the forest at the back there, and I remember saying on TeamSpeak and signalling to Wonton, you know, watch that cav coming at the back. But it was Great Guard, so he'd fallen back to kind of deter them from charging. But we'll see later, Anjinsan does charge them in, and it could have been quite effective, but Wonton managed to foil the charge. And at this point I'm more or less giving up on killing Vizeroh's bodyguard, because I've killed all his troops. The bodyguard on its own isn't much of a threat. So I'm thinking about moving my cavalry away here, because it'll take ages to kill with 18 melee defense and 26 attack. In the meantime, Anjinsan's got this 26 attack Loansword unit coming in for me, and I mean, wow, this thing took ages to kill. I think this would have actually chewed through most of my units. Anyway, in the meantime, here we go. Here is a nice charge. Now this was actually a very nice save. Anjinsan managed to get his Great Guard charging right into the centre of this big mess of other units here, but then Wonton brings up his Yari from the other side, and his Yari cav from the back, and he crushes in Anjinsan's cav here, and they're completely trapped. And this is just one hell of a clusterfuck. Anyway, back to over here, and we see that these Loanswords are standing up quite nicely. I'm just trying to get my cav to disrupt Anjinsan's range units, while Wonton kills his right flank. And he's actually, I think he actually forgot about these Loanswords. They were kind of sitting there for ages before he moved them. I've got a bad habit of doing that, I'll randomly forget units. But at this point I'm thinking, shit, these Loanswords are pretty goddamn tough, and my guys are just falling to them, so I bring the matchlocks up and then start firing on these immediately. And as you can see, the numbers just fall down very fast. But that's the right flank of Anjinsan broken now as well. So I think he's trying to go for these archers and my last general, but at this point the battle is essentially decided. Vizeroh's trying to disrupt my matchlocks with his general, but intercepted him with some Loanswords. This unit routed now as well, so all that's left is a small portion of Anjinsan's army. And you know, this army that I brought with me with 7 Loanswords, it's a nasty army and it's a rush army, but it is beatable, it is possible to beat it. And Anjinsan wasn't too pleased, I don't think, at me having used so many Loanswords, but it's just such a common tactic. You either get used to beating it, or you lose to it repeatedly. and I'll be posting another replay later on that shows exactly how to beat it, and it is me getting beaten, so you know it was a good run by the person that did it. So I'll put that up later on, and you can all you can all enjoy that. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this one. I'm going to end it right here.